Everybody have a good day. Once you're on here, leave some comments, drop some topics. We can discuss pretty much anything you want for a little bit. Been a little hoarse for the last couple days. Throat's a little sore. And then when I wake up and start pushing fluids and stuff, I forget that I have a sore throat. But we talked to a lot of people today, so I'm a little hoarse. James Kroll, what's up? James Young, hello, welcome. How is everyone? JR, what's up, dude? Kiri, hello. Tom Anon, what's up? Michael Hernandez. So what did everybody do today? Anything good? Anything fun? The reptile show was today and tomorrow also. We got some lights and a few little things Amanda got. The only animal that we got was this California king snake, and it's dotted. It's like polka dots. Pretty cool. It's a locality is Borrego Springs, the Borrego Desert. I used to hike there as a kid. We would go there with the church. My mom would take us camping there. And the snakes out there, the cow kings at least, they tend to be black and white. So a lot of that high white, jet white color phase comes, it's the desert phase of the cow king. The snakes are really the exact same snake. Coastal phase is chocolate, brown, and yellow. Then the desert phase is the black and white. And typically they're bands or stripes. But over time they have, changed. And then guys breeding those in captivity. And this guy breeds all just specific locality. He doesn't mix anything into it. I've actually got probably a dozen of his animals here. Bought a 50-foot trailer house. That's fucking cool. Future Kitchen, Thunderhill Farms products. Glenn already started prepping it to move to our product. Very cool. Is it, how old is it, Kiri? Trailer house. So is that like a single wide, is that like a mobile home? Or how does that, what exactly is that? Jesus was a lesbian? I don't know, but you're just kind of a piece of shit. Like you're just here to start shit and you are no longer here. Ice Mike, what's up? New member of the SOE gang, yeah. Apparently a lot of people drive past. I was in Nashville. I should have went and seen that today. I forgot all about it. But apparently it's easily viewable. Fixed a hose bib. Had to go under the house, yeah. Doing all right today. Worked. Put the house in order. Nothing crazy. Single wide mobile home. 1456 from the 80s. Super solid, well taken care of. That's cool. Very cool. Congratulations. So are you going to kind of gut that whole thing? Or are you going to leave the walls in where the rooms are? I have a 16 by 76 foot mobile home. Master bedroom, bathroom at the front. Bathroom at the back, bedroom at the back. And the that was the snake house. You've probably seen it on some videos. But the kitchen is very, very lacking. But there's a lot of room. Like you could easily put stainless steel prep counters and 3-bin sink and everything in there. Celebrity daughter's birthday today. She's about to pop with my grand. Very cool, Kevin. Very cool. How old is she? We watch these guys that take old duffel bags and old like BDU tops and stuff, like people will have like their father's BDU top or their wife or whatever, and they'll send in their uniforms or duffel bags, and people will build purses and tote bags and other jackets and stuff out of them. And Brandl's like, we should do this. So Brandl picked up a couple of those, and on Marketplace they were there, but they were far distance, or they were getting like $70-$80 for a duffel bag. And I bought 30 of those today. We walked at the venue where the snake show is at the Nashville Fairgrounds. There's the flea market was today, which we go to a lot. There's a lot of antiques and stuff there. And the first dude we saw walking in, he had like some duffel bags. I walked over and realized he had a lot of them, and we bought every single one he had. So we're gonna do some hybrid stuff. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, what's up? Going to leave the master and bath as is. Second bedroom will be our grow room, and the living room kitchen will be opened up to be a kitchen pantry. Nice. I always have in the back of my head, if we have to, we can house people there, which is every time we've put one of these buildings or shed, I'm like, we could house people here if we have to, right? Cots, we've got air mattresses, sleeping bags, and if we need to, we can put a lot of bodies under that roof, and a lot of bodies in one area, warmth. She's 28. Very cool, man. 13-year-old nephew just joined Scouts. I'm about to order some SOE gear. Well, thank you, Michael. That's very cool, man. Do I have? It's embossed leather. It looks like ostrich, but up close, there's no actual follicles where the quills were. And then I got some ox blood leather that I wanted. Hey, I'm in a grow room. That's why you experience so much growth. I want to know what the black leather is. Gate? No, it's just black. It's ostrich. I suspect that it's not. It might be stamped because it's just hindquarters, right? But I suspect it's probably roll or under pressure. Ice Mike, what's up? I think we caught everybody's comments here. Plans for tomorrow? Anybody have any good plans for tomorrow? We bought paint. We bought paint and primer. Had the primer tinted, or put pigment in it, black, right? So the primer's black, and then the paint is black. And got a spray rig, and 600 feet. It's a lot. We got a big, huge thing of plastic. Do you have any orange I do not have any orange tubular, Ian. Amanda, actually, we were talking about that last night in the car, in the truck. I have some that should be shipping Monday. I ordered some. So shortly we will have some. I don't know specifically what that's going to look like once it arrives. From the pictures I was able to see, it looks like blue water tubular, which is a very high quality tubular, but it's smooth and a little more shiny, but it will be orange. And I think it has, because it's actual climbing tubular webbing for making runners and stuff. So I think it has blue designation lines woven all the way through the center of it. So you'll have like these 3 blue lines. Like we did some black stuff that had some blue down the middle of it like that. Which it's probably made by like New England Rope or Blue Water. Go through all my stuff and donate all the shit I don't wear or use or want. Good. Miss Rio, what's up? Caleb. I hear kangaroo leather is some of the toughest leather. Yeah, we used to buy, Norihiko, hello. We used to buy gloves from Costco. I think they were Wells Lamont gloves, and they came 3 to a package. It's like $20. I would buy like 20 packages of those every time we'd go, and they were like yellow tanned leather, super soft, but they did hold up well, and I still buy those. I now pay like $40 for a single pair of them at truck stops and stuff. Yesterday I saw a new mag pouch, very nice. Yeah, that's Kydex inside it right here. It's right here. So the insert comes out right now. It's injection molded. It's not Kydex, it's injection molded. And it has those steps in there. Can you see those? Those ridges. So this locks in and those ridges actually catch. It works very, very well. The pouch right now is actually a little too small. Just because I have made it so small and compact that what's happening is it's not as wide, it's deeper this way than it needs to be. I can come in a 1/4 inch here and add a 1/4 here. And because the malice clips don't want to fit through here, I've got it so small. But these will be Velcroed, and there will be Velcro inside here. So once you push that in there, you'll actually wrap it in paper or cardboard and then pull those out. And then it will be affixed inside. And we'll probably do them with a bungee option and perhaps a removable lid, just for if you want more retention or you want to cover those up. Saw leather in the thumbnail, looks cool. I've done a lot of leather stuff. I've got tons of hides here. I just wanted some more ox blood. This is actually the card case that I carry. And it's the same pattern and pieces. Hey. Yeah, do you have are you speaking to someone? Okay. So it's just ox blood. It's the same leather that's on my restoration hardware couches. And the inside is just the pattern that I use for the slim business card case. But I've never put these out because I don't have a finish on the edge. Like, I did burnish this, but I think people don't realize a lot of times, like when you buy a Louis Vuitton wallet and it's got that blue edging on here, or it has the red edging. I bought one for Pierre, right? Fucking $800 wallet. And like 2 years later, all that shit's rubbed off. You can send it back in, but they charge you like $500 to refresh it. What that is, it's paint. They literally paint the edge of that shit. So I've never put these out because this literally is just raw leather. It's cut on the side. And even though I burnished, you run what's called honey, and you can have a machine that will burnish it, or you can just use a roller. It's not a roller; it's just a piece of wood with different cuts in it, and it's very smooth, and it just smooths that grain down. But I've never put them out because it's just raw leather, and I don't have a better way to finish it. And if I edge it, it'll just look terrible. It'll be fucking, the edge tape will be. This is very, very minimal. This is as small as I could get it to hold 20 business cards and still fold in half. Yeah, it's just edge paint. Yeah. Motherfuckers do have no clue. I watch a lot of craftsmen build that stuff. There's a dude out of Europe, and there's a guy in Italy that does just beautiful crafts, just beautiful stuff. And combat straps, I think it's combat straps out of Canada. He has started doing wallets and small bags and stuff also. He just did watch straps originally. Elevator bear, what's up? You definitely don't want to get in an elevator with a bear. That mag pouch is dope. The exposed leather used as a mag pouch for that insert would be John Wick. Yeah, I might do some hybrid stuff like with the duffel bags and some leather, kind of steampunk. Like somebody had commented that, but I always love all that steampunk stuff. And if we put some like brass grommets or brass rivets and shit in there. Zio, what's up? How are you? Keith, what's going on, dude? Taka, how are you, man? Man, I didn't see any birds today. I saw no birds. River otters. I did see river otters. A dude had 2 river otters. I really want otters. Finishing the trim in my daughter's bathroom, completely gutted and remodeled the entire 2nd floor. She's doing a home birth with a midwife. Glad it will be done in time. Are they doing that in a tub? Are they bringing in like an inflatable tub? Or is she doing that like on the bed, or how's that going to happen, Kevin? If you ever watched any strap makers, they are crackheads about their edges using calipers to get precise cuts. Never even thought they got that precise. So they only have to do that until they don't, right? Like, you got to do all the knife making shit to be a knife maker, but once you have the name of a knife maker, you really don't make knives anymore. You buy sheets of metal and they get delivered to whatever machine shop, and then they EDM them, or they mostly water jet them, right? Because there's not the slag cleanup, and you don't have the heat differences, the heat temperature stuff with the metal. So what the knife maker gets is a tray of 120 profile blanks, and they're already even beveled usually. All they do is sharpen them and put a handle on them, and then put a finish, sharpen them and put a handle. And that's the leather stuff, right? If you watch, there's a really good channel, I haven't seen it in years. It's called Lock, Stock, and Barrel. And it's Tyler Litchfield. I think it's Tyler Litchfield. He's in Utah. And he has another channel. He's very much into vintage motocross. But he's got a couple kids. And the channel was him kind of starting his business and, day to day with his wife and kids. But he did leather. And I think he had like a little shed, like a 20-foot little building. And he got bigger and continued to do, runs of bags and stuff. But once you have that name, you buy kits. Like, you can get a clicker press, right? You can pick out your hides. You can take, uncolored hides, and you can dye them yourself. Or you can just take hides that you like and do a run of, 30 wallets or whatever, like these hides here. And you have a clicker press. And they have a clicker press that's just tabletop mounted. So you just put your dye in there. But you can buy like wallet kits or strap kits, and then you just finish them how you want, put your stitching around the edges, or whatever decorations really that you're going to put on them. But you buy those already cut and everything. So they just go. Badger Hughes, hey, what's up? Have a potato. Is that Paul Bennett, or is that somebody else being an asshole? So you can go to companies like Tandy has them, but Tandy's the easy place, right? That's the place when you're starting out because you don't know anything else. You can buy stuff from the same places that Tandy sources all that shit. Frog Jelly Leather, Springfield Leather, and they have kits, and you just buy bulk kits, and then you just, assemble them basically. And like having a leatherworking horse and hand sewing, tapping with the, I don't know what they're called. They look like combs, right? And you tap your holes, you pre-cut your holes, punch them, and then you sew. When you're really doing that shit for real, you don't do any of that shit. You do it on a sewing machine. Guys learn to do that because they can't afford the sewing machine. But really all that skill you learn, doing all that stuff by hand, like when you go to Tandy and take a class, or you're in the Boy Scouts and you do a little kit, that all goes, that's not real business. Like, that all goes out the window once you have the business. My hand hurting just listening to you. Power Courage, how are you? I have a 2-inch wide piece of metal from the Key Bridge. I would love someone to build me a knife out of it. There's a dude that's on here pretty frequently that maybe will build you a knife out of that. I can't really speak for him. He's very, very busy now. Inflatable tub in a birthing room, all set up and ready to go. Nice, nice, good. Otters are, they are so loud. We heard them, and I thought it was a bird at first, but it was so loud. Here, let me show you a little video.
Questions that I get asked all the time about where I live in Louisiana. First,
Let me find it here. Okay. There's one beside him in a cage. But the one he's feeding is still squealing. And he said he's still bottle feeding those because he's on the road traveling. He said if he was at home, he would have already stopped feeding them by bottle. All that handmade shit is good to watch, but you got to be running sweatshop to do that shit at scale. Yeah, and I mean anything leather, you're competing with, you know, India and, you know, offshore stuff. That's freaking out you. I bet it is. Yeah, they're very loud, man. That's nothing compared to how loud they were. I've been buying leather goods from two guys who do exceptional work. One is Saddleback Leather Company, and the other is Andrew's Custom in Florida, real craftsman. So I know Saddleback. I've not heard of the other. Did you buy it? I did buy a snake, yeah. I did buy. I bought this Borrego Springs Phase Cow King. And when he bred these, he's been breeding them for a long time. But they're locality. There's nothing bred into them. But this one hatched out spots. I've seen spots. I've had like highway line ones that literally look like highway lines. I had a snake for 2 years. I got it about this size when I got it. And it had like the dashes of a highway. And that motherfucker would eat himself all the time. He would eat it, he would swallow himself into a circle. Finally he was growing. Like he was getting big. And one day he just fucking ate himself enough that he died. We never could get him to stop it. But that's the only snake we got. We got some cage stuff and made some leather pocket holsters. Literally a thick piece of leather wrapped around the gun and a couple of Chicago. Yes, sir. Yeah, I love Chicago screws. Elevator Bear, what up? I see you there. Very cool. Yeah, my dog came around. I bet they did, man. That's a unique sound. This is the other piece we had built. We built these, I think, with people commenting, they said it's kind of like the Tooth Fairy bag. But I think that I actually made these and we shipped some of our knives, some of our numbered SOE Strider knives. I think that's what we built these for. At least that was the intention. I don't know that we actually built them or if I only built this one. But they're pretty cool. There's that. And then I don't think I posted this today. I shot video of it, but it's the 5x7 Right in the Rain. And it's just got big piece of Velcro here, big piece here, and then it's got 3 business card slots here. Hope all is well. Search mag inserts on site. Yeah, I don't have any mag inserts. I have built these. We have not. This is the first I've ever. Today is the first time I showed them to anybody outside of the building. We have these. Amongst us, we have some of these that we've been running and playing with, but the only time anybody outside of us has seen them was today when I did the video. We have not put these out. Padded pouches would be good for quick ship. Yeah, that's where most of that new shit's going. Very low numbers. I see so many handmade products, product ADs with AI product images. I want to know the motherfuckers clicking on those ads. Picked up a pair of baby African house snakes. Oh, very cool, man. Where'd you get those? So African house snakes are very much like king snakes, right? There's color phases and different patterns, and having a hard time finding pool cue cases that are made in the USA. Yeah, yes, I am interested in doing it. I do not currently have any pool cues to build them off of. I'll order some cases off Amazon and kind of see what they're looking like nowadays. I lived in San Diego. We would go to Olhausen's, and they built tables and custom pool cues and stuff. We would actually go there I don't know, once a week probably. I shot pool a lot as a kid. Morph Market, 2 different breeders, blackout. Dude, I saw, and I've never seen these, man, and I'm not into sand boas at all. But I stood and talked to this dude for probably 20 minutes. I saw him post Friday night, so I recognized the dude, and I had seen him the show before in like May, and he's got all kinds of sand boas, and I've just had like your Kenyan sand boas, and they fucking stay buried all the time, like you never see them. So he has these little bit bigger ones, and they're from Africa, so they're diurnal. They're out during the day and shit, and they're all black. But they're like purple black, right? Like the Xanthic golden childs, like not Xanthic, but like the Motley golden childs, like those retics we have that are super black, but they're purple at the same time. This dude had those, and he was getting $1,000 for babies, and he had a couple of larger females that he was not selling. But I was real interested. The guy was super cool. He's here in Tennessee, and he was like a wildlife agent working on an Air Force base. There can only be so many Air Force bases here in Tennessee. And I said, military bases are super cool for reptiles because most people can't go there or won't go there. And you have pockets of animals that are so locality there, they're completely different from something just a mile. And he's like, he was super excited. And I go, yeah, we'd pull alligator lizards all the time out of center. That you'd have these islands on the interstate, like 1-2 acres, and we would go out there, and there'd just be wood and debris out there, and we would catch, Amanda and I and the kids, and we'd catch like 100 lizards, like within an hour, and we'd take a couple of them home and keep them, but they were very, very different. The alligator lizards there in the center divide were completely different than anything out on the other side of the road. It's pretty neat. But now he is a biology professor at a college. Because I'm curious, right? Are you able to just do reptiles, and does this pay the bills? And he's like, no, I'm a professor at a college, and I teach biology. And I'm like, did you always growing up think you were going to be a herpetologist? He's like, yeah. I go, yeah, we all did. But I'm like, will you come do it? Will you do a podcast? He's like, yeah, I'd love to. And I think I'm going to end up probably getting some sand boas just because, so I can do business with this guy. These came out good. They're a little bit bigger?
No, it's the same size.
As the very first one?
No, the very first one was too small.
Got it.
So I enlarged all of them.
These are pussy
these two.
punchers? Huh? Those came out good. I'm telling you, you need to drill a hole here and make it a pencil sharp. Well, you couldn't because the fibers would go inside. Like, where would the pencil shape? But I mean, it looks like a pencil. Make it a pencil topper. Remember those big super pencils? You just glue this on top and then put troll hair on it, and you can be like, shh. No? Shit gonna hit the fan this night. Do we really think that they're gonna let the non-workers not feed? Do we think that's gonna, maybe that's the design, right? Maybe that's what they're looking for. The pop-up of Civil War. Maybe that is the catalyst. And then the invasion of the Chinaman. So all the young natives come out of the woodworks. Been hiking off trail in the mountains with a couple of buddies lately. Put an order in for an 8-mag chest rig in Woodland about a week ago. Has it not shipped, Patriot? I have 8-mag chest rigs. We just shipped a bunch of them like Thursday and Friday. Did you use the Cat Day code? That's probably why it hasn't shipped. Y'all been enjoying the 3D. Amanda likes the 3D printer, yeah. We have 3, and there's 2 more coming. Looking at Madagascar hognose. Huge compared to the ones found here. Do you have some? I've had one hognose. And there's a like super chondro and stuff. There's a ton of dudes doing hognoses. I'm just like, I don't want any corn snakes. I don't want any ball pythons, and I don't want any hognoses. But I do know what you're talking about. I think it's probably mythical for both sides not to agree and not to pay all this stuff. No, Pug G Battlegrounds. Everyone is going to be killing each other over half a can of rancid ass beef. Do we think so? Where are you at, Miss Raya? Ms. Raya? Not specifically, but like what state? I remember back in the day hunting desert rosy bows. I moved here with over 100 desert, 100 rosy. I saw a big coastal rosy boa today, and you don't see a lot of rosies. I moved here with Langstrom albino rosies, like the second generation ever out of the wild, and Borrego desert rosies, San Felipe's. Man, I had all kinds of locality rosies. We came here with at least 100 rosy boas when we moved here. Better for both sides not to pay. We used to, Santee, we used to be up on the ridge lines out there in Camp Elliott, you know, Tierra Santa, Santee, Camp Elliott, the reserve base. They used it as a training range for Korea and Vietnam, and I think in World War II. We would still pick up old rusty M1 Grand clips out there, and we would find bullets, all kinds of 30-06 steel-cased bullets, just, you know, from erosion, especially on the ridge lines. But we caught rosy boas up there all the time. There's like a little goat trail up there on the ridge. I don't know what's running it, rabbits and deer maybe, because we don't have like sheep and goat out there, but we would catch rosy boas up there very, very frequently, and on Mount Fortuna also, and Cowles Mountain. We caught rosy boas on Cowles Mountain. Indiana, tri-state area, right on. You're out rural, I take it? Homestead kind of? Nothing gonna happen, fellers. Just keep living your life. Yes, I would like to see something happen, not like the purge. Well, yeah, I'd like to see that. I just don't want to be involved in it. I don't think so, man. I think that they're gonna burn cities down again, but cutting off EBT and SNAP while sending 40 billion to Argentina does not seem wise. Spent a lot of time back in the old days. Yeah, the missile base, the Nike missile base. The third story down there was flooded. It was full of water, man. We went out there many times. Sort of suburban. It's like half and half. Cool. So you're removed from the nonsense. Why don't good sewing companies make tactical hats? Not this Rothko crap. Well, like, we're not set up to make hats. I don't have the equipment here to make hats, and it's not the same sewing machine, so maybe that's why. Tactical Tailor made U.S. made hats. Like, we bought hats from them when the first multicam hats were done. And the comments stopped. This pouch right here is actually the cigarette pouch. It's just taller. There's a company, I don't know if they're doing boonie hats. They're doing like ghillie suit hats. They do a lot of scrim stuff. Carcachoo or Kachoo. They're out of Canada. Their stuff looks pretty nice though. Can you all 3D print those mat? We can, but it's not cheaper than buying them in bulk. Buying them injection molding. And the time to print it. It takes it, like making this shit. I don't know how long these took, but I'll bet she ran the machine. Well, I know it was hours and hours. But she can control that shit. Like, she can control that from Nashville. Like, there's an app on the phone that runs. She has cameras on all those things. Most of them come with, like, they all come with cameras, but the bigger ones, they have very good cameras on board. Yeah, AK mags fit in the cigarette pouch. Don't do backflips. Yeah. And this is not going to be for AK mags because of the way it's built. Will it hold an AK mag? Probably so. I mean, it'll slide in there. But the AK mag is going to chew this up eventually. That locking lug, it's just going to slide up in here and eat this fucking thing. I just dropped that insert. There it is. How are the dogs? Haven't heard. They're good. They're good. One of my two white dogs are very, very old. We had them before we moved on to this property. One is died. One's dead. The one who's acts the oldest and looks the oldest that I really thought would have died a year ago, she's still here with us. And the one that was more energetic and like younger, I just walked out one morning and she was laying in the sun. And when I came through, I realized that she hadn't come up. She always comes up because she wants food out of the food bin, the scraps. And I go, man, I bet that dog's dead. And sure as shit, she was fucking dead as a doornail. Karakaju Tactical. Yeah, they've got some neat stuff. Santee Todd, you have a great night, man. Have a good day tomorrow. Do the orders bought with a discount ship at different times? Yes, absolutely they do. Because the orders bought with a discount generally have a free item with them. And we have to build those items, especially like if we let you pick your colors and stuff. So if you want to execute on any of the discount codes, put in notes, hey, I don't need the free bag, and it'll prioritize. Yours will go out earlier. I got purple black mini skulls going now. Nice. I have some pool cases that I don't use. Would you be interested in those to be mailed to you? Yeah, I'll check them out, Caleb. We'll look at them. Kind of make some notes as to what you'd want to change, and we'll look at them. The doors nail. Are you still making the padded war belt for those of us that have you have a standing order for one? Yeah, absolutely, man. What's your order number on that, Brian? I nabbed one of the stained bags that you sold on the quick ship. I opened the package and laughed because I couldn't find the spots either. They, believe it or not, man, they had rubber bands around, like they had pinched the part and had rubber bands. So I don't know if maybe Miranda had like used stain cleaner, or like we use lighter fluid, actually, is what a lot of factories use to get oil, machine oil off of them. You use lighter fluid. So we had like cat hair, and they'd been dust and shit all over them, so it was easier just to blow them out that way. Let me get a picture of that. Buyer. There we go. You said dead as a doornail. I always wondered about that. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Look that up. Where's that come from? Dead as a doornail. I wonder. I thought it was some vampire shit or something. Vampires. Oxblood card holder going to be live. No, this is actually mine. I carry it around. I actually had it in my pocket today for business cards. I might make a few of them. If I do, we'll just put them up on Quick Ship and sell them out. But so if you didn't hear earlier, I never put these up for sale because I cut that edge of leather. It's just raw. Right? Now, wearing it in your pocket, it will smooth out, and it'll get a patina to it, and it'll smell like farts. Not really. It still smells like leather. How big is the insert on the bottom of the skulls? If it's not too big, maybe some epoxy will make them into nice valve stem caps. Oh, you could totally do that. They're probably too big for that. Amanda, you got one of those skulls?
They're pretty big for that.
Yeah, they're pretty big. She could make smaller ones, like the size of dice. But you could totally, they're flat on the bottom. You could very, very easily just drill up in there and put a valve stem cap, glue one in there, and it would go on. But I really think these are probably too big for that. Used to go into the leather store at the mall as a kid, and yeah, I smelled just these two hides in the truck. The leather, it was fucking awesome, man. I love the smell in there. Yeah, there's a leather edge tool there, absolutely is. It's called a burnisher, and I can get it to look good, but it won't stay that way. They like when you buy Louis Vuitton or Gucci or any of that shit, it's paint. They use edge paint, and it cracks. It comes off.
And they charge you a fortune.
They charge you $500 if you send it back to Louis Vuitton. I bought Pierre a wallet. It was $850, and a couple years later, he's like, he called him up and he's like, "Can you refresh this? Like, do you do a spa for this?" And they're like, "Yes, sir. It's $500." They'll repaint it. That's what they're literally going to repaint the fucking thing. Story with the surplus bags. We follow a couple channels on social media where guys take duffel bags and then cut them and make jackets out of them. And then what they really look for is the stuff with more branding on it, right? Indelible ink or names or whatever. People will send their father's uniforms in, or their family members, and they'll have bags made out of them and stuff. And Brandel wanted to do a couple of those on video. He's like, "I want you to deconstruct this and build something out of it." So we started looking on Marketplace, and they're there, but they're like $50-$60, which is the going rate for a surplus canvas bag. Like, they're heavy duty. And we went to a reptile show at the Nashville Fairgrounds, and they were having the flea market. And right as we walked in, dude had them hanging on a clothes rack. I'm like, "Come on, I got to go over here and talk to this dude." And I got a price from him. I'm like, "Well, how much if I just buy all of them?" And we bought all of them.
He liked that idea.
He did. I like that dude.
Yeah, he was very cool.
Yeah, I hope he does come out and check out what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I bought almost 40 of them probably. Ian McPherson. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you? You're pretty much running the apartment now, aren't you? Went back to snakes. Went back to leather. I'm getting out of snakes. Could you roll the leather over the edge? And no, it's too thick, man. I made this to be as small as possible. Like, as this sits right now, I'll bet this thing's 2.5 inches, maybe by 5. I wanted it as the closest to the size of the business cards that I could get it. And I got that. This is literally as small as I can possibly have it. And it's sitting at 4 inches by between 2 1/4, 2.5 when it's folded up. Have my grandpa's wool. That's cool, dude. Ian, man, things are good, dude. Reach out to me. I hope things are good with you. You actually reached out to me not long ago, right? You still have that subload we did. What was your dog's name? Was it Kona? Was that, I think your dog's name was Kona? Not expecting fine leather from the sew shop. Burnishing can be done at home. Beautiful. Yeah. Koa, that's it. That's it. Well, guys, I'm about to get off of here. We actually just got back in town probably 2 hours ago. Now the leather. Now with leather, could you shave the edge thickness in half so then it's the same thickness? That's called skiving. Yeah, you absolutely can. You can skive by hand, or you can, yeah, same number, Ian. Or you can get a machine that just runs through. Koa makes awesome guitars. Why no more snakes? I'm just not big. I'm not really into snakes. I just bought another one today. It's right here. All right, guys. I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm about to hit the rack. Gotta sleep fast. Yeah, there's a lot to do tomorrow for sure. Especially being out of here all day today. Never looked into oh man, it's something that anybody can do, and the tool sets are not you can get it, the tools are not expensive for it. I guarantee almost anywhere you live, there is some store there you're not aware of that is a leather store. Look up Tandy Leather. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here before I fucking sit back down. Night, guys. Thanks for hanging out.